Okay, so today we're gonna be raising our cortisol by reacting to famous Instagram Reels slash YouTuber Goatus. And I'm joined here by my secondary viewer. If you'll introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Batman GD. Right now my heart is a shiver because I'm not good at the game. And yeah.
And I am RMV. My hardest is Cataclysm right now, and I am going for every end.
So he has to do
That's a
everything in his
big
power to
jump.
survive. As I watched this, I instantly thought to myself, I could do that.
Ooh, so you just caught that, right?
Yeah, Joe just said that he could do that while he's sitting watching a movie eating pizza.
So you have to take into account Joe Fazer's hubris, his ego towards life. And that's something that's really contradicted by the way he's living.
But my little brother completely disagreed with me. So for the rest of the movie, we were just arguing about it. And then I realised there's only one true way to see who's right. I got a long 12-hour flight. During that, I watched many desert islands.
I think if he really wanted to prove himself, he would make a boat and travel to the island instead of taking a flight.
Tutorial videos and landed in the Maldives.
Um, do you have any feedback on that?
So if he was really that dedicated, I think he would actually make the boat and make the paddle himself.
I'd go so far to say he'd make the camera by himself.
Yeah, if he knows how to make technology stuff.
I think given Joe Fazer's um I wouldn't say ineptitude, but he's really just ignorant when it comes to things like this, I've heard. I don't think he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he would either. And I also think that he wouldn't bring a backpack filled with stuff.
But then again, we don't know that. He might.
I then hopped on a local flight which brought us to this small island. It had a population of about 400 people, and that next day, it was time. We are setting off for desert islands. I hired a local fisherman to take me an hour and a half out to this island, and with blue water being the only thing I could now see, my nerves started kicking in.
It does look pretty nice.
Just to recap, I think Godus is complimenting the island.
Good time of the year.
It looks like a
Oh
good time
yeah,
of the year.
and the reason I think that he will bring a backpack filled with stuff is because he had a backpack on in the clip where he's like going into the plane. Like
That's a really good use of context clues. I didn't pick up on that. That's really attentive.
Good weather.
I think we just
oh
saw
yeah,
them right there on the
and
boat.
and also he brought the backpack onto the boat. So
That's something that's very intriguing yet also very scary.
It's just that such a small island with realistic.
You know, I have to disagree here. I think the island's pretty big. You could fit
yeah,
you could fit a private island on that island.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Not
could be
have a lot.
that could be like I feel like about like 20K. Like it would be a little bit like it would be like a lot of people know each other because there would be a lot of people. And that island is small for 20,000 people. If they were to go to that, it would be kind of cramped, but it wouldn't have been like very cramped.
Yeah, and then we also have to take into consideration that the continent of the United States of America is also an island, and yet they've been able to fit 360 million people there. So I believe you could maybe fit 360 million people here. Maybe more.
Um well, theoretically, I don't think that's really possible. I feel like there would be too much people on there, and some people would have to go in the water, and if they can't swim, they're just dead.
I remember in
Or,
Dubai, actually, they built an island in the water, and they basically made an island, therefore removing structural limitations. I believe that's something that can be done right here.
Of animals, if really any at all, maybe some small ones.
Huh.
I feel like if there were animals, it would be like, yeah, as he said, like small animals like snakes, some bugs, like maybe flies.
I think if I were to go to this island, I would see a dog there.
Why do you think you would see a dog?
Well, think about it. Dogs, they're the apex predators in our world. They can they can swim, they can walk, and I've seen a dog fly before.
Okay.
I
Um,
they're really like predatory and migratory in their nature.
yeah. Another story that I've had with a dog. He started dancing. Yeah. He started dancing.
Oh, what kind of dance? Was it a traditional dance or?
It was like something that you'd see in like a Hawaiian movie.
So maybe that dog came from this island.
It could have.
Like we don't know for sure because dogs have a mind of their own. They can go where they please.
They can do whatever they want. But with the increase of dogs getting owned by humans, it's like they are there are like animal slaves. They're like bodyguards for humans if they're big enough.
And in that same regard, we can metastasize the island into a human owner and Joe Fazer a dog, representing that this was a choice made for him that he doesn't have to suffer through, and yet he does for the good of the island or the
Eh,
people.
But the only reason he went here is because of an argument with his friend to see if he can survive 5 days on an island.
Do you maybe think that has implications in our society that we are willing to do things that we would otherwise not through peer pressure?
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
Like
Surviving on it.
Go on.
like some people would like some people could say that they'll never vape in their life, and under peer pressure, they might actually vape.
I had that same experience actually. I told myself I would never, and here I am. Huh. It's a great real world connection there.
It's pretty much impossible.
The island I'll be spending the next 5 days on. Over 100 miles from habited land. A place completely isolated from the world. The second I get off this boat,
You know, I don't think it's actually isolated from the world, considering he's bringing modern technology there, and he's also inhabiting the land.
Yeah, and also he he also like and if anything goes wrong, like with his technology, like say if he has a phone, then he could call somebody for help. Like if he breaks both of his legs, he can use some of the modern day technology to get help. But if he doesn't have a phone, then his legs are just broke and he's screwed.
I believe prior to this recording, they actually built a cell tower and gave it to him so that he was able to spread internet in case of something like this happening. I heard about that.
That would be honestly a good idea to make sure that his safety is like to the max. But again, he's on an island and he is challenging himself. So I also think that's not as good as an idea.
I also see here that the ability Joe Fazer has to challenge his friend, himself, and society is contrasted by him bringing himself and society to somewhere colonized, so to speak.
And and in an island, you only need like a couple things, like three things. You need food, you need water, and you need structure. Like, and if he can like get those down, then he's basically just chilling the entire video.
I think if he establishes food and water with coconuts, then builds a structure with palm leaves, then I don't think he has to worry about a fire, because a fire is not really necessary.
Yeah. I mean, it could be used for warmth when he's trying to sleep, but that also causes risk to the grass, the trees, and him, because if the fire like if the fire spreads to the grass, then him and the island will just get destroyed. And this video wouldn't have came out, so I don't think he built a fire. I don't think he will build a fire in case of that happening.
I think what's going to happen is there's one of two possibilities. It's either he doesn't bring a fire with him, and therefore he cannot make any fire, or he brings a fire extinguisher and lights it on fire, but then he saves this island,
He
making
could do
him
that.
making him part in completing the hero's journey.
And I have a basketball game tomorrow. I just felt like saying that.
Honestly, I think that relates to this because basketball is a representation of community, which Joe Fazer will not have.
Yeah, and he will be isolated and like, well, not isolated, because he will have like he could make a relationship with some of the animals. Say if he finds a snake, and then he can try to train it not to bite him, um, and in which he wouldn't be lonely. But in basketball, you have 5 players, um, on a on the court on your team that you know, which you can communicate with to score.
And yet he's lacking the players on his team to score.
Because he doesn't have any players except for maybe the animals
You know,
that he might tame.
I think the reason why he brought a backpack is actually because he has a flute in there, and he practiced becoming a snake charmer before this, and that's going to allow him to make a riffraff team of small animals through fear and mutual bonding with this communication. And he's going to rebuild society with non-ordinary societal members.
Yes, he could do that, and which small bugs like mosquitoes could try to kill the animals, which he has. And since mosquitoes are like microscopic and so small, he wouldn't see them, but he would hear them.
I heard that mosquitoes are actually single-celled organisms that replicate just like bacteria. Any thoughts?
I think that they're like bacteria because they have a lot of bacteria.
So it comes back to like an Ouroboros of the I think therefore I am philosophical conundrum.
Yes.
Okay, I see where you're going there. You know, I see that we've reached the 15-minute mark, and I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for this first episode. Come back, maybe tomorrow. We'll finish the part where he gets on the island.